Tamara, and I'm so glad that you took some time out of your day to join us. If you're affected by this winter storm that's hitting many, many states, stay warm, stay comfortable, and if you go out to shovel, don't overdo it, okay? Take care of yourself. So the theme for 2026 is open at the top. And for January, we're exploring the theme of ancestral wisdom and new thought. The title of our talk today is Infinite Possibilities and Sacred Kinship, and it will be brought to us by our dear Reverend Charlene. All right, like I said, we're just so glad that you joined us. If you have any prayer concerns or celebrations that you would like us to include later in the service, when we do our affirmative prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment, please be sure to put them in the chat, and Reverend Charlene will work those into our prayer session after our message. All right, that's all I have to say to kick things off. Sit back, relax, you're here, and enjoy our welcoming video. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless the sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is. All right, and now it's time for our meditation. So I always like to pick meditations, or I try to pick meditations that tie in with the title of our talk today, Infinite Possibilities and Sacred Kinship. And I thought, well, let's bring back the meditation for our ancestors. I haven't done that for a while. And with this snowstorm, I was thinking how lucky we are in this day and age where we can check the Weather Channel or weather app. And we knew before the snow started falling, an idea, a prediction about what was coming our way. And I started thinking about years past and our ancestors, when the snow started falling, they had no idea how much. Will this be a dusting? Will it just be a little bit? Could we be buried in snow for a long time? And they just had to always be prepared. And how, I guess I say lucky we are to live in this day and age, but let's honor our ancestors and the wisdom that they can give us with this meditation. So sit down if you're standing, or get into a comfortable position. Wear of your body. If there's any place that you feel that you're carrying some tension, your shoulders, your back, your neck, try to focus on that and release that. And we will take a few deep breaths as I slowly count us into a visualization, which is how this meditation starts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So when I've done this before, I've asked you to visualize a tree, a large tree, the largest tree you can imagine. Or since I just traveled up to Pennsylvania and got to spend the night in the family homestead, the home that my great-great-grandfather built. Yes, still in the family. And as I walked down the stairs in the morning, I thought, this is the same stairs that my great-grandfather, that my grandfather, great-great-grandfather, great-grandfather, grandfather, and my father used to visit that same place. My grandmother lives right down the street, and how lucky I am to be able to go back to my roots, and how many people can do that. So if you want to visualize a tree, you can do that. If there's something else that is sacred to your family, you can visit that. Maybe it's a graveyard where many of your ancestors are buried. Maybe it is a farm or a homestead. Maybe it's your grandparents' house, but go someplace where you can visualize that there is family energy. Family energy is present in this place. And in your mind's eye, you are there. And all your ancestors, everyone, aunts, uncles, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, just picture this gigantic circle. And as you look at their faces, you notice we share DNA. We have the same chin. We have the same nose. We have the same eyes. This is my family. And we share a bond that time does not break. The DNA that was in your great-grandmother, in your great-grandfather, that's still within you. They're still a part of you. And I believe, and many people believe, that the wisdom that they earned during their lifetime still exists within you. So as you look around the circle, what is the gift that they can give you? Is there anything that they'd like to say to you? Is there any wisdom that they'd like to pass on? Is there anything that they need to remind you? We always break down the word remember. You are remembering that you're never alone. You are a member of this sacred circle of your ancestors. And think about their hardships, think about their challenges, think about the things that they had to endure, the things that they had to overcome, all that resilience, all that strength, all that wisdom is there. It's inside of you. And when you're having moments when faith is small, when you feel weak, when you lack courage, when you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, and there's a lot of things out there that can make you feel overwhelmed these days, but you can remember. You can travel into this circle. Ask your ancestors, what do I need to remember? What did you endure so that I could be here? and recognize that it's all love. It's all love. All right, slowly, slowly leave that place and gently return us as we enjoy some music by Leah.
Sweet spirit of light and love, sweet spirit of light and love, sweet spirit of light and love, spread your wings and shelter me. Sweet spirit of life and song, sweet spirit of life and song, sweet spirit of life and song, spread your wings and shelter me. Sweet spirit of quiet and calm, sweet spirit of quiet and calm, sweet spirit of quiet and calm, spread your wings and shelter me. Sweet spirit of light and love, sweet spirit of light and love, sweet spirit of light and love, spread your wings and shelter me.
Wow, that was amazing. Ah, Leah, you're so good. Thank you, Leah. And thank you, Tamara, for that meditation. I didn't know where we were going with that, but shout out to you and the family farm. What? Nice. And I was thinking about how aren't we all so very privileged? And it might not show up in land or buildings or whatever is the traditional thing, but think back to your ancestors. I know I am so blessed to be part of the family I'm in. I can't even tell you. I mean, I don't want to brag, but wow, we are some smart cookies over here in our family. So the fact that we all have something precious and even if you decided to walk away from your family at an early age because that's not it, well, then I'm sure that you found your chosen family. And so that is even more precious because you had to do something to get there. You had to choose and choose again. It wasn't just like, boop, I popped out and there we are. We're part of, no, this was a curated thing. All of it, I bless all of it. And I know that we're all in the perfect place today, no matter where you are, no matter whether you're covered in a lot of snow or if there's palm trees blowing in the wind, wherever you are. I salute you. I celebrate you and your life because we need to talk about life right now. Are we separate? Is it us and them? And do we have to look out and see separation and a big chasm where all is lost because there's so much separation? I mean, it's a choice, but if we're talking about choices, can I offer a different one? I'm going to offer you a choice that has to do with oneness and not in the typical way, because I know we talk about oneness all the time. And as a minister, it feels like, wow, I'm going to say the same thing today and I'm going to pretend it's different, but it's always the same thing. And yet stories are amazing. And we've been talking all month about the story of the indigenous folk. And because we are here on the land of the Native Americans, a lot of our storytelling is bound with that concept. But remember, there are native dwellers on all the continents. And if you think about the African continent, where all of us came from, there are similar traditions spread throughout there. So we, yes, are talking about Native American culture today, but just know that speaking of ancestry, we can expand this to wherever, whatever corner of the world the native folk made peace with their oneness with Mother Earth. because if we really go far back enough, that's what we're talking about. And because here's the thing, we are one with each other. And they're finding this out in current quantum physics in the world of science. Everything they do, try as they might to separate science from spirituality, science from so-called religion, but really it's philosophical, what it feels like, what it is like to be human. They would love to take that out of the equation and just do science. But why is quantum physics playing in their faces? It's saying, yeah, you would love to separate the human consciousness from the scientific model, but let me keep showing you where you're wrong. And most recently, it's coming more and more around to the fact that this is a universe where consciousness was the beginning of everything, consciousness, and then consciousness either chose to or surprised itself by experiencing itself in all these other ways. It's called you, me, and everybody else. Consciousness itself, the one ground of being, decided, what's it like to be me, having fun with me, hanging out with me? And then if it got a little boring, what's it like to fight with me? I mean, I know it's not a real fight. What's it like? So think about the fact that we are one, even though what's happening in front of your face might be what appears to be separation, what appears to be strife. And if you go back to the principle of oneness, it changes how you see things. And if you can change how you see things, it might change your nervous system inside your body. And as I tell you the spoiler alert to the end of the story right now at the beginning, if you can change the way you see the world and how you interact with the world, instead of being us versus them to being one with everything, might that change your posture? Might that change the look on your face? Might it change what you think about, dream about, and how you show up in the world? Well, I'm hoping because that's what I'm here to help you do. Okay, I'm going to read you a story. There's a lot of stories this month. This one comes from the same wonderful book, Braiding Sweetgrass, by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And she's the Robin that's going to be talked about here today. The title of this section is Pledges and Possibilities. One morning, Robin's morning walk among birdsong and new leaves was interrupted by thoughts of a phone call from her third-grade daughter's teacher the night before. Her daughter had begun refusing to stand with the class for the Pledge of Allegiance. The teacher assured that her daughter wasn't being disruptive or misbehaving, but just sat quietly in her seat and wouldn't join in. The teacher was calling just because I thought you'd like to know. In her own childhood, the pledge had always puzzled her. Robin had no idea what a republic was, nor why they would pledge allegiance to the flag, an inanimate object, rather than to the land itself. Robin's farm was within the ancestral homelands of the Onondaga Nation. On the reserve, just a few ridges away, the children were speaking of a different allegiance. They call it the Thanksgiving Address, or the words that come before all else. The students gather together in the atrium of their school and listen as the group of the day recite the sacred words. Today we have gathered, and when we look upon the faces around us, we see that the cycles of life have continued. We have been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and all living things. So now let us bring our minds together as one, as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now our minds are one. And then there's a pause, and the kids murmur their assent. Now our minds are one. Now our minds are one. It continues, we are thankful to our mother, the earth, for she gives us everything that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk upon her. It gives us joy that she still continues to care for us, just as she has from the beginning of time. To our mother we send thanksgiving, love, and respect. Now our minds are one. And then the kids, now our minds are one. The address goes on, thanking all the waters of the world in its many forms: waterfalls, rain, mist and streams, rivers and oceans, and guess what? Snow and ice. That one was for us over here on the East Coast. Then on to the fish, then the plants, then the berries, then the medicine herbs. Each loving paragraph ended with, now our minds are one. The trees, the animals, the birds, especially the eagle, leader of all the birds. Leaders are the first to offer their gifts. So there is a veneration for the eagle, as well as Maple, the leader of the trees. It reminds the whole community that leadership is rooted not in power, not in authority, but in service and wisdom. Thank you to the four wind, brother sun, grandmother moon, the enlightened teachers throughout the ages, our creator. The address, by its very nature of greetings to all who sustain us, it goes a long time. So part of its power surely rests in the time it takes to send all the greetings. And thanks to so many, what would it be like to be raised on gratitude, to speak the natural world as a member of the democracy of species? Each person, human or not, is bound together in a reciprocal relationship. That's the point of that whole thing. So it finally it ends with this announcement or part of the group. We have now arrived at the place where we end our words, they say. All the things we have named, it is not our intention to leave anything out. If something was forgotten, we leave it to each individual to send such greetings and thanks in their own way. And now our minds are one. What? So the point of that, it not only reminds me of everything we've talked about since this first Zoom session first opened, from Tamara's meditation about the ancestors and how family, looking around to your family and knowing that you're one, or she said it could be a tree or whatever it feels like for ancestry. She got us rooted in the idea. And I'm sure she didn't read this. I'm sure she did not read this document because, yeah, she's shaking her head. No, I did not. Of course not, because we are so one. And then with Leah's song and the imagery and the way the music sounded a little bit Scottish to me, like it lilted a little bit, right? It just calls us to something higher, something more than my nation and this flag. And you might not be happy what your nation and the flag is doing right now. Doesn't it make you a little more big, wider, more expansive in your idea of who are you and the fact that there is nothing but oneness? I love the way they go through and they thank everything, because why not put our attention on everything that we appreciate? We discussed this last week. If you do not share your appreciation for the things that you value, those things will go away. So by looking at what we want and being grateful for what we want and knowing that this thing that we do want in our lives, we have gratitude for it. We don't take it for granted. We thank it. And then knowing that we can't name everything, we leave it to everybody to do their own internal thanks. And having our minds be one doesn't mean that I have to think everything you think and I have to have everything you have. Our minds being one is so much bigger than that. We are individuations of the one. We are in our true nature, brother, sister, mother, father. We are family, everybody. And the fact that we know that at our core, we come from the same spot, it's kind of hard to judge, because you know that if you were raised in the exact same way as some of the people across the so-called aisle, you might be behaving in that same way. And that we all are pretty terrible and pretty great at the same time. So Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind, and he in his book, The Words That Heal Today, or just Words That Heal Today, not the words, but he says to love God and love our neighbors as ourselves. Ha, well, that's tricky. He says means to see God in everything and to include everybody in one divine unity. And I know that sometimes it's really hard when things are looking exactly the opposite of what you would have happen. So we do have to turn away from the appearances and the external presentation sometimes. It's like a child. Let's say you have a child that, or I know some of you don't have children, but you've been a child. I can guarantee it. You've been now, you know how the child's not behaving well, but you do love that little person. Or maybe you were the child and you did something dumb and you hope that you don't get punished too badly because in general, if you look at my whole body of work, Mom, I mean, I'm kind of fabulous. It's just this one thing I'm not my proudest moment. Wouldn't you want to love someone beyond the way that they're currently showing up? And so that's the goal behind what it is that's happening with their behavior. Love them beyond that. Tamara and I often joke about this litmus test, how to know whether or not you're being empathetic or not, is when you're sitting in traffic and somebody's driving stupidly and they're doing something crazy. It's so easy to just dislike that person, the whole person, where they came from, where they're going. You just don't like anything about them, and you just make it so much about that whole person instead of about their behavior. And so the fun litmus test is pretend that that's your mom driving the car, or that's your friend, or somebody that you're going to a meeting with, somebody you work with, somebody you know has just behaved that way in their car. Don't you give them a little more grace? Don't you? You don't judge them the way you did the perfect stranger. You make up in your mind some excuse for why it is they're acting that way. And we all do it. We all do it. If we know somebody, they get a little more slack than if we don't know them. And now let's take that a little bigger and talk about groups of people. If there's a group of people you've never been exposed to except through the media and in a negative way, shout out to Black and brown people or anybody that's not mainstream or anybody that's gay or somehow not in the mainstream of whatever it is. You've typically been drawn, painted with a wide swath of brushes that just monolithically put you in a particular light, and then people think they know you, and then they see you, and they just assume a bunch of things because they don't know anybody from that group. And now here you are, you represent everything they think about that group, and you don't even have to open your mouth. That's your grade A prejudice, right? Yes, your grade A, top of the line prejudice. You can't prejudge something that you don't know, but we do it all the time because we have shortcuts. I mean, come on, we don't have all day to do this mental gymnastics about let's hear them out, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Humans are lazy and we think we know everything. We put you in a category and we move on conveniently for ourselves. And I'm sorry if that ends up, now you're marginalized. This is how that happens in a societal way. So what am I saying? What can we do about that? Well, it could be maybe the idea about oneness could say, oh, well, there's definitely God in there, or the divine, or I'm one with that person. That person's me. Some people even say it's not about being your brother's keeper. It's like being your brother, like oneness. There is no other. Because when we decide that there's an other, then we unconsciously put all of our shadow stuff on that other person. It's their problem. So if we could identify the oneness and hold it, even though it's hard, woo, you're on your way. You are on your way, which is why I think that the native practice of doing the long blessing of Thanksgiving and recognizing and knowing all are one, it's a great idea. What a great way to start the day. What a great way. So how do you create the oneness? Yeah, because the easy path is separation and judgment. The harder path is the oneness. So the Science of Mind, here's what we do. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, wrote, "Our belief sets the limit to our demonstration of a principle, which by itself is without a limit. We put a limit on it because of our belief. So it's ready to fill everything because it's infinite. But then our belief limits the infinite." It's the cup, the tiny cup analogy. I love water. I love cups. And here's why I love water. Okay, think about water really quick. And I have a glass here and it's of a certain shape. And when I put water in it, water takes that shape. And if I fill it all the way up, the water will flow over. That's neither here nor there. But notice something that um, it seeks a level. The water's not lopsided. It seeks level and it seeks to spread as far as it can. And then when it can go no further, it rises at the same level. Now, why am I saying that? Well, the divine is like that. It will fill whatever vessel you have made available to it. And if you make yourself bigger by taking away all your judgment and all anything that's keeping you from seeing yourself as one with the divine, then there's just more there to fill up. And so it's infinite and it always seeks that level of spreading out. You're never going to limit the divine source, but you can limit how much you hold. So it's always available. This water, this divine elixir of life, always available to us. And when we expand, open at the top, open our minds, open up, allow more good into your life. Now, of course, I'm going to talk to you a little bit because recently I've been asking myself, well, is there something in me that's stopping the good? Because what if I desire to have, like we do these visions and I want certain things for myself? If I want to grow, let's say, income, what in me is limiting? What's limiting? And I think with my mind, oh, no, I'm happy with it. You want to give me a bunch of zeros after a one before the dot? I'm happy. But am I? Because the universe knows nothing about delay. So if I said, okay, universe, hey, I'm ready to hold this much, the universe will just pour that in there. No delay necessary. Unless I think I've got a big old cup. But what I have is a cup that's already filled with doubt. How much can it pour in if it's already filled with doubt? And so I had to check myself. And here's what I know for sure. I still have work to do. I do, y'all, because there I was watching this woman online, and she's kind of in the world that I am with AI and tech. And we're not the same, we're different. But when she mentioned how much she gets for her talks, when she goes and speaks at a company and gives them information on how to use AI, I was like, "Ugh," so jealous. I was so jealous. I'm like, how? She charged what? They give her that much? And then I thought, hmm. And then I started saying, well, I'm better because I do. And I was like, girl, what are we doing? And then I noticed, I said, Shar, this is the moment. Check it out. Come on over. Let's look. And I got curious because I said, oh, we all think that we're open to our highest good. We all think we are until someone compliments you on something and you go, no, this is not. Right? And no one came to me with a big check and said, Shar, would you take this check? And then I said no, because the universe is not that much on the nose. No, it's me seeing myself doing that and then watching how I'm happy to work. I'm happy to make someone fabulous apps. But then when it comes to asking for money, I'm like, no, if that's the part. I was like, okay, so now we know. Now we know how to carve out a little more space in the worthiness department so that I can feel worthy of the things that I say that I want. Because if I don't feel worthy of it, part of me is going to not follow through, not finish up, not ask, not post, not offer because I want to stay a little small because I'm kind of scared. What is going on? So we have the ability to choose whatever we want. And when we're not in alignment, you'll get some nudges. It might show up like jealousy or envy. Follow that. So I did forgive myself and shout out to that lady. Go ahead, girlie. There is no limitation. There's no limits. If she gets a big pie, that doesn't have anything to do with my pie. There's no pieces of a pie. Everybody gets a pie. And if I want a bigger one, all I have to do is the work to see myself receiving and happy. And when here's what I found out about myself to finally pin it up. When I finally decided to see myself as a vessel, that the more I receive, the more I give, and that I'm asking for more so that I could be more impactful and be more helpful and more of a resource for the places that I give and serve. Well, now I'm okay about asking because I know what I'm going to do with it. Now I know what I'm going to do with it. So now I'm okay. Please, yes, and I would like to be paid. That's what I want for myself, and that's what I'll hold for myself. And so, what are you holding for yourself today? What are you believing right now? What can you let go of to make room, carve out some room? I'm sorry, I'm thinking about one of those sourdough bowls at Panera Bread where they carve out the bread and they put it in the soup. Carve out some room so the divine can fill up your cup to brimming, to enough to flow over. And the overflow is what you'll serve. Serve, serve, serve. So you could be a big old blessing in this world because it needs you and it needs me to see everybody as one. Okay, so you have your homework. Let's go within and do a small prayer and end this talk. Wow, time flies. There's only one divine presence. That one is everything. Only. That's everything present. The oneness, the one, the divine, the source of all beingness. Some call it God, some call it Allah. It doesn't matter what name it goes by. Just that we know that we are all one with this divine power and presence. And we get to personalize and identify whatever parts make us more amazing, more ourselves, and then turn to that piece of ourselves, embrace it fully, and know that we are here to express that. And when we express that part of ourselves that only you can do, only I can do, and we do it with love, with support, with empathy, with giving, with caring, that is the best harmony to be in with the divine, because that reciprocity kicks in, and as we give, so shall we receive, and that as our cup runneth over, so we share with others. It is a divine reciprocity that is happening right here, right now. And so I speak my word that our cup overfloweth. And that anywhere in the world right now that is fraught with anything unlike the peace, the love, the joy, the harmony, that we speak our word and we send our thoughts of unity and harmony emerging in that space, because it is right there. It's right there in the midst of them. And so as we turn our attention to what it is we do want, we know that the world unfolds in ways that we can't even imagine. And our job is to say thank you. We thank every being that made everything possible, whatever it is you're going through. Stay in gratitude. So I am in gratitude for this knowingness of who we really are, for my ability to speak this word and know that the universe says, yes, yes, my beloved. So I simply release it into the law, knowing that it is already unfolding. I let it go and I let it be. And so it is. Ashe. Now let's hear from Leah. Just need to change. All right, I'll play, but I need to turn on that. Okay, here we go.
eternal sacred circle. We are part of it. There's an eternal sacred circle. We are part of it. We are only part of it. There's a divine and loving wisdom. We're a spark. We're a spark of it. There's a divine and loving wisdom. We're a spark of it. But we are only part of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We are a spark. We're a spark of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We are a spark. We're a spark of it. Here as one voice we choose survival, and we start to make an art of it. Now is our moment for revival. We're at the heart of it, and we are only part of it. We are only part of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We're at the heart. We're at the heart of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We're at the heart. We're at the heart of it. We are only part of it. We are only part of it.
Oh my goodness, what a beautiful, beautiful song. And thank you so much, Reverend Charlene, for your inspirational words. All right, folks. So now is the time that we celebrate the donations that you send in to us because you are a part of it. You are a part of CSL Leesburg. And because you give, we're able to give the law of circulation with workshops and classes and what we do on Sundays. So we are all one, we are all part of it. Odds are, if you're a regular attendee, you've already found a way to give. If not, take a look at the screen. And now please join me in the blessings of our gifts. So please join me. The presence of Spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. All right, let's see if we have some announcements. I know of one, backed by popular demand. So, reminder that we have, yeah, she's going to this one. Backed by popular demand. Those of you who missed Charlene's incredible AI video visualization for 2026, we got you. We heard from you. Those of us who were there had such an incredible experience. Charlene is a master teacher, and she took somebody like me who's well, a little challenged when it comes to technology, but she was able to guide me through and guide others through. And she helped us create an AI video that focuses on three aspirations, three intentions, three things that I want to manifest in 2026. And it was so much fun. You're getting a little sneak preview. If you look on your screen, you can see Blake, you can see Manya, and this is all through the bibbity bobbity boo of AI. And Charlene's even figuring out a way to add in our affirmations to this. But she's back because some people couldn't make it on the day that she did this. So we're going to do it again on next Saturday. And is there a way to register, Charlene?
Yeah, I put a link in the chat if you see, yeah, in the Eventbrite registration.
There
Love
you go.
offering. It's there in the chat. If you're
And
listening, it's just cslleesburg.org/transform 2026.
Nice. And I cannot recommend this enough. It was so amazing to,
Yay.
it's one thing to create a vision board, but you have still pictures. It's another thing, and you see also pictures of somebody else. It's another thing to see you, to see you. There you are moving, and it helps you visualize it because there I am. There I am making my dreams come true.
Yeah.
So that will happen Saturday. And
don't forget this. This is just,
Go ahead.
remember, just remember this. This is the same slide I show, but don't forget to go to these two locations to get our app stuff.
Yeah, go back to that last slide.
Yeah. Can you see it?
No, I'm looking at
Oh.
the workshop. There it is, open at the top. There you go. So we have our Spirit AI guided online experience, and this helps you and gives you support for our weekly topics that we explore. I have my little journal right here, and it's already filled up with all my notes from the service in January. And Charlene, I have to share with you and all my friends, I really like that there's blank pages.
Yeah.
I don't have to work around what was already printed out for me. Talk
Yeah.
about infinite possibilities. I you like that. I get to decide what goes on a page.
Yay.
And I've decided each week starts off with a date. What is our theme, our message for that week? What is the meditation? What is the music? And what is the message? And then I add my notes, and I get to decide. Am I taking 1 page of notes, 2 page of notes, 3 page of notes? It's all up to me. So if you haven't gotten your journal, there's my other sales pitch for today. Get a journal, go to our CSL shop. You can see the little QR thing on the screen, and you too can have an awesome journal. And there's so many different cover designs that you can pick too. And I found one that works for me. So I think that's it for announcements. Am I right?
Yes.
All right, then let's go to our closing affirmation. Now, if you're affected by this snowstorm and you haven't been able to join us for Pearls recently, I know you're not going anywhere today. You're staying here. So hang out with us a little bit. We do our virtual coffee hour. We share what books we're reading, what TV shows. I've got a question for today. So I'm planting this thought before you even get there. I want to know, what's your go-to? What are your comfort foods that when you're stuck in the house and it's snowing, what were the supplies that you ran out to make sure that you had? And I'll share what I'm going to be cooking up today. But that's what we'll be talking about. So odds are you can stay. If you can, please join us for Pearls after our service. All right, with that, we got to do our closing affirmation because it's a wonderful weekly reminder that it's all love. Here we go. Please join me and turn on your mics. At the screen, I'm seeing those little mic things go off. So good job. Here we go. You ready?
Yes.
I am love.
I am love.
Love that. All right, now think of somebody who needs this message. It could be somebody who's in the room with you, a family friend, a family member, a friend, a furry companion. Boo's right down here between my feet, all snuggled in. But maybe there's somebody else. And like Charlene said, we're all connected. So you can send this out. Are you ready? You are love.
You
are
love.
Awesome. Awesome. And now put your hands up in the air. Here we go. It's all love.
It's
It's
all
all
love.
love.
It's all love.
Love. Infinite possibilities of
Yay.
love. All right, friends, thank you so much for joining us today, for taking time out of your busy, busy day. If you can, please stay. We'd love to chat with you. And I want to hear, what are your comfort foods? What are you cooking up in the winter to fill your belly, to fill your household with that wonderful smell? I'm just kind of curious. What are you making today? And we'll talk about other things. But if you have to go, maybe you have to go outside and shovel. I don't know. But if you have to go, just know that we send you off with our love and